Hello everyone. So today I have a couple of items to share with you that are exclusive to Spellbinders, paperarts.com. I think that's the whole web address. But they have come out with 4 new items. I do have 2 of them. There's also a wax seal and I believe it's a glimmer plate. It might be another better press plate, but I think it's a glimmer plate. The wax seal is on its way, and I'll show you that when when it arrives. But for now, I have the Poinsettia and Bells border, I believe it's called, 3D embossing folder with an option to cut, and I'll show you what that is right now. It's just on the side just because that's where it is, but you're going to nestle that into the embossing folder. And then I have the better press plate, and I just want to show you these. Today I'll focus on the 3D embossing folder, but I just want to show you some of the new exclusives. Again, that means it's only available through Spellbinders and on their site, I believe. Yeah, I guess where else would you get it if it's only on Spellbinders? It's on their site. So these items were sent free of charge from my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So thank you for using those if you would like to. Yeah, this is just a really gorgeous plate. It's one of those kind of vintagey, kind of collage looking kind of plates. Merry Christmas to you, it says, and it has all this beautiful like scroll work and a little more folksy. I don't know if it tells you on here the size, but I'm pretty sure it's going to look really great on an A2 size card. But let's see, it is 5 inches tall, and maybe at the widest point maybe 3 3/4, a little bit thinner down here. And so today I want to focus on this though. So I get samples, so this is not packaged the way you would receive it. Your packaging, I believe if you see the images that are associated with this set, will show you pretty much what the packaging looks like, but it tells you on there, it's not really depicted. It just says if you want to use this guy on here, you're going to nestle it into the space, put your paper in, and run it through. So it's just something that if you want to use it, you place it, and if you don't want to use it, you don't place it. And I would say it's probably easier to, I don't know if it's easier to place up here. In this groove, I don't know if you can see that there's like a groove there for it, or once you place your paper down here, just kind of place it on the edge or bring it down, and you can see where you're placing it, so that will help you cut it. But if you don't want to cut your border, you can just not use that, and so it gives you more options. This is, like I said, a 3D embossing folder, so you're going to use a universal plate system or whatever plate system works for you, and whatever system you have that you can run a slightly thicker embossing folder through. It is an area that embosses roughly 5.5 by 8.5. The folder itself is 5 3/4 by 8 3/4. That's another thing you want to keep in mind. At the top part here, it looks like there's 2 different kinds of designs going. So even though I said all that, I mean, if you run it through, you're going to have this kind of line here. Maybe you can put something in the middle and still make something longer like that, but it is definitely a border design. You can see the poinsettia, the bells here, and then up here it's kind of like individual little poinsettias with bells. So it's basically 2 different designs. And this one at the top, I was going to say, is probably 5.5. Yep, 5.5 inches square basically. And then this one, the depth of it, once you cut and everything, or if you're placing that cut line, it's probably like 2.5, almost 3 by the 5.5. So what I'm going to do is I generally work in A2 size cards, and I already have a ton of A2 size panels from like the card kit and things like that of the month, and I still have them here, some that I've cut into. What I'm going to do for you guys is probably, let's run some through, let's just run one through here, and we'll see what that looks like, just completely an A2 size panel. We'll also cut one, and then maybe do one that's not cut, although the paper's going to have this little line here, so I don't know if we need to do that. We probably don't need to do that. We'll see. I will get some kind of like metallic paper. We'll run a couple of these guys through. Why not? And I will be right back. Let me grab some of the paper. I cut down this piece of paper to 5.5 by like 3.5, and I don't know the color of this, or the name of it, because it's kind of like a pinky, almost burgundy red color, but it's very metallic, so we'll try that out. So let's get this guy, and again, I'm just going to place it anywhere in here. We'll run that guy through. It's going to look really pretty. Oops. Have some items there from the wreath collection that I had cut some extra bits. Okay, and for this guy, to build a 3D embossing sandwich, you just need the platform, you need your paper inside your 3D folder, and then the adapter, which is here somewhere. Here we go. I don't know if you've seen, they do have the universal plate system for the large machine too, the big guy. And again, if you're not using like a cut and emboss, there's other ways to make sandwiches and other machines that hopefully will work for you. Like I said, this one's a little bit thicker, so you probably want to do less shims of what you might possibly use. But gorgeous. I love those bells. They're so cute and like round. I love that. Really bulbous, I suppose. I mean, it's a beautiful piece. I think I might also do a paper that might have a white core, that way we can kind of like shave it down, see what that looks like. But anyway, so we have this guy, and I would place that in there. If you want to tape it or something like that, I mean, that's completely up to you. I feel like that looks pretty good. What I mean is just put like a little piece of tape somewhere that'll help you hold it down. And I'm doing this on top of my machine, which is probably not the wisest, but there we go. And I can pretty much hold this and just pop it down. I just kind of held it until I got close enough to let it go, and you can see there's a ridge that really kind of holds it in for you. So let's put this back on here, put that back on there, and I'll start in the same direction back over here. A lot of times I'll go backwards, but that's where the folder opens. I rather run it through with the fold of the folder here, you know. And I'm doing this very slowly so not to shake the camera, but you can just run things through, of course. With that, and when it popped, it moved, but other than that, wow. So I did 5.5, and it is right there. Oh my goodness, look at that. Beautiful. You have your bells down this way. That is really, really gorgeous. Let me grab another paper. Oh, look at that. That's so cute. If you put it down here, you still have like a little border piece. That'd be cute. Just kind of maybe cut that away and use it. Or, you know, play with this edge that way. Get a piece of paper that only goes to this. Use it that way. Let me grab, again, like I said, a piece of white core paper, and then we'll put a card together. I'll be right back. So I had a piece of paper that all I did was cut down to 5.5, and then it was wide enough for me to do a piece up here and then another piece for the border area. So let's do that. So, hold on, I have too many things kind of here. Let's put this over here. Let's get this guy ready. Off over here somewhere. I'm gonna do them both at the same time, guys. So this is white core paper, meaning it has a white core. So there you go. We'll pop that one there. And then this guy can go over here. I suppose if you wanted to leave, like, let's say you want this to be a whole A2 size panel like this, right? 4.25 by 5.5 or whatever size. You can just add it there and leave it hanging off the end, and then you'll have this border in here cut, but then you still have the rest of this paper all in one panel. If that's, you know, better for your design or whatever it is that you're doing. So let's put that guy there. And so they do have cut and emboss folders, Spellbinders, but this one just has the option to cut if you want or not, right? So that's something new. And we'll bring this guy up here again. I just kind of place it in that groove. I can just really feel where that goes, kind of hold it until I get down here. I'm just holding it with my one hand, and I'll let it go. And let's run this guy through. So, plate, let's get rid of whatever that is, piece of tape. And then this guy, and we'll run them both through right now. And I'm holding it as I go through, especially the side that has the die. I don't think it'll move, but just in case. That's the last thing we'll be doing over here, so let me put this guy away. And I always have my little Spellbinders right here in front of me. There we go. So, what I want to show you about this one, you can see how it kind of popped through the paper a little bit, but we're going to do something else with that in just a second. And then this is that border. So pretty. Oh my gosh, dude. I can drop shadow nicely if I wanted to do that. Right? Or even this one on top of this one if you just want that little shine coming through. Really pretty. But what I want to show you with this is just that we can just take like a nail buffer. And I always keep them behind me now. They used to be in this other area and I was still looking for them, but now they're much easier to find. So you just take that, and since you have that white core, you can see I've used our green paper last, maybe some reddish paper. Just scrub over the top, and I know that sounds not great, so I'm going to do more of that, and I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to do both of them, okay? And I'll be right back. Oh, let me show you the back, actually. We always like to look at the back side, too. This one, of course, will just be white, which is lovely. And here's the green one, if you want to see that. No, this does not have white core, so it's not going to do the same thing, but you could distress it if you would like to. You can still get this kind of thing, go over it, but it's not going to look the same. But I'll be right back. Okay, I think that is as much scrubbing of these as I want to do, but hopefully you can see how that just accents the white area. And since this is a 3D embossing folder, you know, the flowers are a little bit higher than like the front of it, than the lower parts, but if you want to get in there, you can kind of just use the very tip and get into wherever you want to get to. But I just went over the top kind of flatly, and it was hitting the higher areas, right? Look at that. Okay, so let me grab a card base. I'll go through making a card with you guys. Maybe I'll do some with just some music over, but we will do one together, and I'll be right back. So I went and I grabbed my Make It Merry Christmas kit, because I know I have a lot of sentiments in there and cute things, and literally I just opened up one of the packages and I can see this "'Tis the Season" one sticking out. I was like, oh, that's pretty. So I was gonna leave just a plain white background, but of course, you know, to make it more substantial, you can add another panel that's already cut, like, or an A2 size panel, just so that's not exactly card base that you're staring at, you know, when you have that there, and it just looks cleaner. And then I was gonna put this here. I have this little "'Tis the Season." I love the green color of that. Just something simple like that. But then I thought, oh, you know what, you can also, and this was going to be like a landscape kind of card, but I thought, well, you can also bring it off the side, which is very pretty, and then the "'Tis the Season" can be in here. And then why don't we use this pink? So I'm just going to cut this to a whole A2 size, so 4.25 by 5.5, and I will be right back. You know, I usually like matte layer kind of layering pieces, so if you want to trim this down, you can. Just take some off the top and bottom so that it can sit, you know, a little bit lower in there, whatever it is that you like. I will say, and I meant to show you guys these, Spellbinders has coupled with a company called Vivant, and they make lots of pretty like ribbons and things, and I do have some samples to share with you guys, but this would have been a great one, maybe the next one when I follow up. You can take some of the beautiful ribbon and kind of put it on the edge, or however. It looks really nice. So they have like twines and different finishes of ribbon. And so let's do that. Now this guy can be popped up. Should we pop him up? And then "'Tis the Season" can also be popped up on the end, or just flat. I mean, it looks really nice flat too. Let's go ahead and pop it up. Let me grab this one. I was looking for some adhesive that I have that has really long strips, so let's do that. I'm gonna frame it out almost like if it were a shaker, but not really that much. Just like all the way down here. Okay, so I'm gonna frame that out and put some bits here, and I'll be right back. So just kind of frame that out and then put some little pieces here to help stand it up. You can put up another one down the center if you feel you need that. So today I just want to show you a little bit of playing around with those guys. I'm just going to put this here. Not really. Hold on. Line up the end. It's pretty good. Turn this over. Give it a squish. And that is our 3D edge side there. And then how about just "'Tis the Season"? Again, I mean, you can pair this up with lots of things, but I feel like the paper and the look of that, it needs to be the focal point. So I'm going to put that there, and another piece of the same height of dimensional adhesive there, and a little glue over here. And I'm just going to put that right. I feel like it should go right there in the center-ish. Before I really push that down, I'm going to see where I'm at. And a little further over. That looks good. So it's a simple card. Of course, we can come in with some little pearls, some rhinestones, some other items to finish that off. And then I'll do something else with maybe this guy. I love the background, and then maybe add some of our ephemera from that same kit. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope that gave you a little info on how to use them, and keep an eye out. Hopefully I'll have more of these kinds of things coming out, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.